Episode 16, Not My People. I don't know why I didn't see this coming, but I didn't. Call me naive. I guess I expected everyone would be happy for us when my husband announced that he was going to be retiring next month. Or maybe that they would feign happiness. I don't know. But that has not been the case. And I am shocked. Looking back, I remember my friend Brenda once said something to me about how she'd never met anyone who was happier than I was when other people succeeded or did well. And I thought, that's odd. What do you call that? The curse of knowledge, maybe? When it's all you know, you expect everyone else to be just like you. Because I'm genuinely happy for my friends. I really am. And honestly, for strangers too. It's just who I am. But I digress. Going back to the issue at hand, I can only name a handful of people who've expressed sincere congratulations. The rest, I think they're just jealous. I mean, what else could it be? And they see Corey's retirement as meaning maybe something about them. Again, I don't understand it, but I witnessed it firsthand multiple times when we visited the Midwest. The first thing that they contributed to a conversation about Corey's retirement was why? Why is he retiring? Um, because he can? Wouldn't you retire if you could? The second question, and this I'm not totally offended by, was you'll get bored. What will you do? To which my husband responded, anything I damn well please. A very satisfying response, am I right? The third contribution was basically no comment, nothing, crickets. They refused to acknowledge his retirement or talk about it at all, because then maybe it's actually not happening. I don't know. I really have no frame of reference for understanding this. So, how did I respond? Now we're coming to the real issue. First, let's agree that I should have just let them, as they say. Let them say what they're going to say and let it go. They get to be wrong and unkind and unsupportive and everything else I was making their actions mean. But what I found myself doing was to make myself small in an effort to make them feel more comfortable. What do I mean by that? I noticed that I was diminishing my husband's and my hard work, good fortune, accomplishments, and our choices that have allowed us to make this decision, because it is a decision. And I found my husband falling into this trap too. We used words like modest retirement, not lavish, and bullshit like that, as if retiring on your own terms isn't a luxury, no matter your budget. It is. And it's a huge accomplishment. And I'm proud of us. So, what was I doing here? What I eventually came to realize was that the people who dismiss our accomplishments are jealous of Corey's retirement, and they aren't my people. Rabbit trail. There are a lot of folks who said that they had to pay off their homes before they could retire. If you're watching the podcast on YouTube, you can see I'm shaking my head. If you're listening to the podcast, you're just going to have to trust me. What I've learned from my friend Renee about rich people, she worked with a lot of rich people when she owned her own mortgage company, is that rich people use other people's money every chance they get. Why would they use their own money when they can leverage other people's money to achieve their goals? Compare that to what those of us who grew up poor or working class were taught. We were taught that rich people got rich by pulling themselves up by their own bootstraps. What a crock. Who we hang out with matters. You've probably heard the saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, or you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Remember my board? They're a perfect example of like-minded people, most of whom are way smarter than I am. I rely on them for their wisdom and support, and they encourage and cheer me on. We didn't know it at the time, but one of the benefits of moving halfway across the country 30 years ago is that we had no choice but to make new friends. We couldn't conveniently rely on people we'd grown up with. Since moving to Portland, we've consciously chosen to surround ourselves with positive, motivated, like-minded, and supportive people who have shaped us and propelled us toward our own successes. So many of our friends that we've forged bonds with over the past 30 years are retiring early, living unconventional lives. And now that I think about it, you know what's interesting about them? Every one of them is happy for us, jumping up and down, taking us to drinks to celebrate happy for us. I wonder if Corey would be retiring early if we hadn't moved to Portland. Remember how I said one of the reasons we've been able to do this is because we've questioned the status quo and we let go of the manufactured idea of the American dream and decided what we wanted our own dream to be? I'm wondering now if part of the reason some folks are unhappy or jealous is because they continue to cling to those old rules, rules that don't serve them very well. And here we are asking, who makes the rules and who says they get to decide? And then we're smashing it all down. I heard Tony Travels say this on TikTok today, and it blew me back. People closest to you are the first ones to shoot on your dreams because they're too scared to do it themselves. Damn. Now compare them to one of the reps that my husband has worked for the past couple of years. Here's what he emailed Corey. You have been the best inventory management person I've ever had. And that's not blowing smoke. It's the truth. I hate your leaving, but I 100% understand where your priorities lie and respect those 100%. Family always comes first, and a lot of people do not live like that. Congratulations, bro, on living on your terms. I will surely miss you. And hey, you're not going to be here anymore. But that's just me being selfish. Takes a real man to put his family first above the paycheck. I wish you well on whatever your next endeavors are. You will always have a friend here. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? I don't think so. It feels like there have been a lot of upsets since I first started on this venture in February. What I wanted, or I thought that I wanted then, may not be what I want now. So what do I want now? Has it changed, given Corey's upcoming retirement and the opportunity to purchase the condo? Let's talk about it next week. Don't forget to pound that subscribe button in Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to My Act 4. I'll see you next week.